This time on Invaders, bridges, beers and birds. First the bridge, then the beers, and then the birds.
Bye bye Lagos, or Lagos. Thanks for having us.
Just leaving. Beautiful place.
Lovely, wasn't it?
It was beautiful.
We left Lagos and continued down the coast towards the river Guadiana, where we were meeting up with friends. The river is on the border between Spain and Portugal and marks the end of the Portuguese Algarve, an ancient glacial valley, and is dammed further upstream on the Spanish side for hydroelectric power. To go up the river, you have to travel under this rather low bridge. It's actually 20 metres at the highest astronomical tide. Now, for those of you who aren't mariners, here's how we have to work it out. Impavadus mast is 17.3 metres from the waterline, and we have 1.5 metres of aerial on top of that. That gives us 18.8 metres of air draft. The height of the bridge is 20 metres at the highest astronomical tide. That's the highest theoretical tide on any given day. The tide on that day was 3.09 metres at high water, or 0.7 of a metre at low water. There were spring tides when we wanted to go under the bridge, so we had to get the timing, the calculation and the charted depths absolutely spot on, or we were in trouble.
It always looks close when you go under a bridge, but this time it really was close. Oh, it's close. Oh my lord.
Our calculations are absolutely spot on. I reckon we're about 10.
Somebody else coming through now. Oh no, it's Goose! This is that I can't anchor!
Oh no!
Did I say that out loud?
It's Captain Chaos.
Come on, put your foot down, get past him. Oh no, he's turned round. Probably going to go and try and anchor somewhere.
Definitely planted. Yeah, they're planted, aren't they? Wow! There's some really big fish in the river, and as we went upstream they started jumping more and more all around us. The usable land here is planted with pomegranates, limes, oranges, lemons and even fig trees. On the Portuguese side there are some trees that are cultivated for their bark to make cork. Oh yeah. They must be cork trees because that's Portugal. That is Spain. They're not vines. The scenery was really quite spectacular as we sailed up the river on the now flooding tide. So this is the mooring pontoon we're on. The local fishermen use it every day. They tend to fish at night here. They do something they call lamping, which is what we used to do years ago in the country with rabbits. Impavadus is tied up. We're sitting in about 3 metres of water at low tide. This is low tide neeps. So there's the name of the landing for those that want to know. We'll put some coordinates in for you. Deep water river, 16 metres on the Spanish side. At this point, obviously it varies. Bardarillo, Lewis and his wife work, and just up there is museum. I don't know if you can see it. The river's navigable about another 6 or 7 miles up to a small town, and then after that there's a low bridge. That's Spain on that side of the river. we're standing in Portugal. Down there, 12-14 miles is the sea. There's only one tiny drawback, and it is tiny, and that is the banks of the river have bamboo, and as the banks erode, the bamboo falls in. I don't know if you can see it, just the other side there. There's some bamboo that's falling in. When it falls in, it goes in the river. But while it's in the river, it's pretty soft, and it doesn't damage the boat. Doesn't damage the boat, and there's not a lot of it, and it tends to be in clumps. You can see it as you come up or go down the river. So there's room for about 3 35-footers, I suppose, maybe 4 on this pontoon. We've got a good 10 feet behind us, 3 metres. Oscar's sticking his head out, look, he's seen something in the river. Wonderful, wonderful spot. They had some big wildfires over here on the Spanish side the other day, and the planes that drop the water were landing just round the corner there, picking up water and then taking off. How they managed to clear that mast on that boat there. From here it looked like there was only a couple of metres spare. And then they dumped the water on the fire. It's been quite bad this year as it's been so warm and dry. So Pavidas is down there. Nice big river pontoon and a slipway, fishermen's huts, and this brilliant Bar de Rio. And Lewis or Liosh owns it. €1 for a beer. Lewis saw us doing some video and asked us what we were up to, especially when we were using his Wi-Fi. We showed him that we were making video blogs for YouTube, and he got in on the act. Morning, Lewis.
Good morning.
Good morning. Bon dia.
Bon dia.
How long have you been here, Lewis?
Almost 4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
And what was here when you first came?
It's the same bar, in the same place, but a little bit small of what is now.
Lewis and his family have worked really hard over the last 4 years to make the Bar de Rio the centre point in the small village. It was a bit like United Nations. There were people from all walks of life and all nations coming to the bar. It was more of a social civic centre than a bar, and Lewis and his family would be serving meals and drinks until the small hour.
English, French, German, Spanish.
So every language.
Every language.
And you speak a little bit of every single language.
My English is not so, but I try. Better.
Being a big football fan, Lewis would put his own team's scarf up in the roof, and visiting yachtsmen, holiday makers, travellers and people who had just popped in over the last 4 years had contributed to this collection of scarves. There are now hundreds of scarves decorating the roof of the bar from all over the world. A few dubious teams there as well, but it just shows you how international the place is and how well Lewis is thought of. We knew that the area was renowned for its wildlife, fish, birds and even big cats up in the mountains, but sitting on Pavidas one afternoon we spotted this fella, and once we'd seen him he kept coming back. Absolutely beautiful kingfisher. He didn't stay long, but his colours were just, well, iridescent. One afternoon we went out to walk the dogs and came across this local viewing point. You can see how the river winds its way down the valley to the sea for some 17 miles from the dam. It really is the most gorgeous spot. If you get the opportunity, visit the River Guadiana. It's gorgeous. Well, all good things come to an end, as they say, and after 12 days on the River Guadiana, we had to make our way back down and under the bridge again, timing our exit with the low tide and then anchoring for a couple of hours in the river to get over the sandbars as we went out past the Villa Real Marina, where we stayed one night in order to get our timing under the bridge correct the following day. The pontoon berth next to the Bar de Rio had cost us just €10 a night, and that included water and electricity. That's a real bargain. We'd really urge you to go up the River Guadiana and spend a couple of weeks there. It's beautiful.
Next time we continue our journey south and east, with a brief overnight stop at Mazagon, then on to Cadiz, and then into Gibraltar. We make these videos for you. Visit us on Facebook, Impavidus on the Boat. Give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe. Sail safe, Anton said.